The year was 1977. Our small barrio in Antique was shrouded in darkness. The night was alive with the chirping of crickets and the distant barking of dogs. But something else stirred in the shadows. Something sinister. It was the night the Aswang came. The night I lost my innocence. Even now, decades later, the memory chills me to the bone. The air was thick with the scent of sampaguita and fear. My heart pounded in my chest like a drum. I can still hear the blood-curdling scream. It echoed through the barrio, piercing the night. It was Marina, my brother's wife. She was pregnant at the time. Her cry was a mix of terror and agony. It was a sound that would forever haunt my dreams. Life in our village was simple. Days were spent tending to rice paddies, and evenings were filled with stories shared under the fading light. But woven into the fabric of our existence were the old tales. Tales of creatures that lurked in the darkness. Tales of the Aswang. The Aswang, they said, was a shapeshifter. By day it could be anyone, a neighbor, a friend, even a family member. But by night it transformed into a horrifying creature. It craved the blood of the living, particularly the unborn. These stories were more than just folklore. They were warnings, whispered reminders of the darkness that lurked at the edges of our world. My brother Tomas was overjoyed when Marina became pregnant. Their joy was infectious. It filled our small nipa hut with laughter and anticipation. It was during this time that Aling Fidela, a distant relative, arrived in our village. Aling Fidela was an enigmatic figure. She was an old woman with a weathered face framed by a shawl that always seemed to shroud her in shadow. Her arrival was met with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. She carried an air of mystery, and her eyes, dark and penetrating, seemed to hold ancient secrets. Ailing Fidela settled into our home, offering to help Marina with her pregnancy, but her presence brought a palpable unease. She would often stare at Marina's growing belly. Her gaze was intense, unnerving. Marina, too, began to change. She grew withdrawn and fearful. Her once vibrant face was now pale and drawn. She complained of nightmares of a creature with bloodshot eyes and a long black tongue. She said she felt a cold presence near her at night, a presence that filled her with dread. The night of the attack is etched in my memory. The air was heavy. The silence was broken only by the rhythmic chirping of crickets. I was awakened by Marina's screams. They were blood-curdling, filled with a terror I had never heard before. I rushed to their room, my heart pounding in my chest. The door was ajar. I pushed it open and gasped. Moonlight streamed through the window, illuminating a scene of chaos. The mosquito net was torn down. Marina lay on the floor, her face contorted in pain. Her eyes were wide with terror. And then I saw it. Perched on the bamboo rafters, its eyes glowing in the darkness, was the Aswang. The creature was a grotesque parody of a human. Its eyes burned with a malevolent hunger. Its skin was stretched taut over its bones, revealing the monstrous form beneath. Its tongue, long and black, darted in and out of its mouth. It was a horrifying sight, a nightmare come to life. The Aswang hissed at me, its claws scraping against the bamboo. I stood there, paralyzed with fear. And then, as quickly as it appeared, it was gone, vanished into the night. We found Marina unconscious, her body covered in scratches. But the most disturbing detail was the smell. A putrid, metallic scent permeated the air, the stench of decay. Panic gripped the village. The elders gathered. Whispers of the Aswang spread like wildfire. Fear hung heavy in the air. Some villagers, armed with bolos and bamboo spears, ventured into the night, determined to hunt the creature down. But the Aswang, as elusive as the shadows themselves, was never found. Marina, though traumatized, was determined to protect her unborn child. She refused to leave the house. Her fear was palpable. She would clutch her belly protectively, her eyes darting around, searching for any sign of danger. The following morning, Ailing Fidela was gone, vanished without a trace. Her belongings were left untouched. It was as if she had simply ceased to exist. But as the days turned into weeks, a chilling truth began to dawn on the villagers. The attacks had stopped after Ailing Fidela's disappearance. Some whispered that Ailing Fidela had sacrificed herself to protect the village. Others believed that she was the Aswang all along. that her disappearance was nothing more than a clever ruse. The truth of that night remains a mystery, a secret buried deep within the heart of our village. The events of that night left an indelible mark on our village. The fear lingered. The shadows seemed darker, the whispers more frequent. The Aswang, once a creature of legend, became a terrifying reality, a reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. Even now, all these years later, the memory of that night continues to haunt me. It is a chilling reminder of the power of belief and the terrifying truth that sometimes the monsters we fear the most are not the ones we create in our minds. They are the ones that live among us, hidden in plain sight.